It's against a black background, and my director could assist me with that just by putting it on the screen. And the banner, "Release our leaders from commenting on such critical national and moral issues." Now, these are caricatures, yes, thank you for that. These are caricatures of just some of the leaders who've commented on this abduction. Some of them even went as far as blaming the former deputy president for the abductions and saying he's the one behind these abductions. This issue has been turned political, and people have found political fodder for something that definitely has to do with more of security. Do you think that this will have any end when it comes to political rhetoric? That politicians have found something that they can continue with, probably even worsening the situation. Now they've been released, you see more politicians talking about how probably they are not genuine and they probably abducted themselves. What do you say about that?
Thank you, Edmore. And coming to the concern, what I would say, let me say that every elected government has a duty. Because I believe by the time that a head of state swears in and takes oath, he takes oath to protect the Constitution and the people and the people's property. And the manner in which the response has been coming out on matters abduction has been very much shocking. That in fact even the IG could come out to media to tell Kenyans that he's not aware. No single government agency was aware on how these matters were being handled. At this point in time, I wonder how could one basically a presidential contender of Uganda found himself in Nairobi and found himself abducted and taken back through our borderlines to Uganda. Does the government want to say that it was asleep and they were never part of that particular scenario or that particular situation which took place? And if even today the government has not committed itself on the manner in which BC was handled, that is the same way that our sons had been handled by the same state. And I would like to say that the obligation that our agencies has is to make sure that they give us information any good time. You can't tell me that in fact in the social medias they were having very informed information, giving to the state that in fact a particular vehicle, which was a four-wheel drive, and another vehicle with their registration number, you can't tell us that you are even not able to trace where those vehicles could be. You cannot even be able to trace the owners of those vehicles, which abducted, and especially the last person, who was this young man from Embu. And this tells me the whole scenario and saga. There is no way that the state can get out of it. And nobody else can be taken responsible on this particular saga. Yes. It is high time that the government should understand our country is a democratic country. And at this point in time, we have fought so vigorous to come out of a single party, and it costed the lives of Kenyans to have a multi-partyism. And if the country has arrived, a state has arrived to a situation where they want to silence everybody who has a constitutional right to speak out, then it's better now alive in what we can, I would say, let us turn this country back to one state, to one party, so that we can dictate the country in the manner that we would wish. But in the way that we are in, and the constitution that we have as a nation, I believe it gives Kenyans a democratic space. And we cannot allow that space to be crossed at any single moment. Okay. In this case, I would say, Kenyans, you must wake up and vigorously fight for your rights. Don't allow our constitution be taken to the hyena. It will be so unfortunate, Edmure, if at this point in time we are not merciful to take care of our young ones, how can we be able to say that to silence the young ones because they are challenging the government in the social media? The only way to silence them is to teach them in this manner.
Yeah, that is what we're hearing from your colleagues in Parliament. And if you look at that cartoon in the Daily Nation, it has the leader of a caricature of the leader of majority in the National Assembly, a caricature of the minority leader in the same National Assembly,